Streaming is definitely the most popular way that people consume media nowadays in 2025. It's interesting to think about how just like 20 years ago, it was like the new thing to just have something portable, a way to listen to music or even watch a video or something in a portable way, taking it with you. And iPods and MP3 players were a big thing just 20 years ago, 2005. They were really in their prime, I'd say. Um, and of course, Apple was kind of always ahead of their time when it came to stuff like that. They just kind of were groundbreaking with a lot of things. And and iPods are just something that I've just been really really into in like recent months, and I just have been really excited about them. They've been giving me a new appreciation for like music again. Obviously, I've always had such a great appreciation for music, but there's something about like having the actual music and downloading it and putting it hardwired onto a device such as an iPod, that just like makes it so much more satisfying to listen to, and it's just been really nice. I've been really enjoying having them, and I've just been consuming a lot of more music and being really more excited about music than I've been in recent years. Even though I have been really excited about music, I just really even know I couldn't take it up to another level, honestly, but I did, and the iPods have really been a big thing for that. I had an iPod. I've done a few videos about iPods. I bought like a Touch at the end of last year, and that set off a whole chain reaction of like really digging in, because there's so many models of all like the older iPods that I didn't even know existed. Hadn't even really seen them before, and I've just been fascinated and just like obsessed with them, and I've really been digging in and doing a lot of research on them, and I just wanted to have like one of every model at least. And I'm pretty, I've got a lot of iPods now. I've got over 20, and I'm really excited about them. I think my collection's perfect right now. Really excited about it. So I just wanted to go through all the ones I have today, and just geek out with other people that are into iPods or like looking into getting to iPods again. I just really like the idea that you just like have to have the music like downloaded onto your computer and then put onto the iPod. You don't have to worry about the music never being there for the supporting the big corporations to an extent. I mean, I guess you still are supporting certain record labels if you're not supporting local artists or small artists on a smaller level. But streaming is definitely far worse, and you don't have to worry about like connection issues or anything like that. It's always just going to play for you, and it's just really nice. I just love having that. So got them all behind me here in a pile. I'm sure that'll be the thumbnail picture, but I'm going to keep turning around, reaching to grab them, and I did a video about this one recently, and it's a good one to start with. It's the first iPod, the original iPod, and this thing is really cool. It's one of my favorites that I own. I was really cool to pick up this one, and it's just so thick, man. It's just like insane how thick it is. Got a full hard drive in here. This is before it even had the like pin connector on the bottom. Like that's like was kind of like iconic when that was a thing. When I first started getting iPods, I got the iPod Nano 3rd generation. Was my first like real iPod back in 2007, and that was a big deal. And I remember having that the 3-pin connector, the multi-pin connector, and then it going up like through like the iPhone 4. So I had the iPhone 4. That was my first iPhone, and that will be in this video. I might show that in this video. I don't know yet. We'll see. But the first iPod released in I guess October of 2001, and this thing is just a relic, man. This thing is so cool. It still works amazingly. It's a lot harder to get music onto it. If you watch that video I made about how you have to sync one of these up in the modern day, you have to have an older computer or just like a bunch of different like dongles and connectors to connect it to a new computer, because it only connects with FireWire. Like I said, it doesn't have the dock connector yet, was not invented, and so you can only sync and charge through FireWire, which is the port on the top here. And yeah, but this thing is awesome. It's the only one that had like the like this, the original, like, there's a different font of the iPod on the back. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but it just had a different font, and I think that's really nifty. It's also the only model that actually had a physical wheel that it actually moves. It's not touch sensitive, and I think that's just so cool. It's so cool. It's got the giant hold button on the top. You turn it on, and there it is, the mono screen, and still works great. I really love the simplicity of it. It's really awesome. I'm gonna put it back to sleep, but really love this thing so much. It's so cool. This one I listen to mostly on the weekends. I don't let this leave the house. This is such a relic to me. I just really love this thing, and I don't want something to happen to it. So I really listen to, it only holds 5 gigabytes. So I've got some quality stuff on here. It's mostly CDs that I uploaded to my older Mac and put onto here. And really been enjoying listening to this. I listen to this with my headphones usually almost every Saturday morning, and really been enjoying that. This is just such a cool little relic. I love this thing, as you can tell. But moving on from there, I guess I could point out real quick that the second generation model, this is the first generation, was almost identical to this, except that it had like it came with a thing that will cover up the FireWire, like a plug, and they turned the wheel into a touch sensitive wheel, but it was mostly the same kind of design. I might eventually get a second gen. I'm not like too crazy about getting one because like I had the first gen and it's very much the same thing. I think the first gen is cooler, honestly. Moving on from there, I'm just going to go in the stack that I have here. I'm not going to go in order anymore, but this is the 4th generation iPod. This came out in 2004. This one's still fairly thick, pretty thick guy here, which is interesting because the 3rd gen, this one has 40 gigs. That's why it's a bit thicker. The 3rd generation, which we'll get to in a minute, had some ones that were thinner model, with less gigabytes on it. But I always think of this particular iPod as just like the iPod. This is like the definition of the iPod, like the old school iPod right here. It has just the touch wheel, the screen, and this is the one with the I can turn it on, see if it's going to turn on for me right now. But this is the one. This is the 4th gen mono. Because they did a color version, which I'll show you in a second. I don't think I will actually be able to get it to boot up because it's the battery's really bad on that one. But this 4th gen one does have a good battery on it. It has a new battery. The battery is low on it right now, so I haven't used it in a little while. But the mono, just like the old, like the 1st gen and the 3rd gen, this was one of the last ones to have the mono on it. And like I said, I'll go ahead and kind of introduce it here, but this is the also 4th gen, almost looks identical, yes, but on the inside it has the color, and it's the first one that had photo, so it's called the iPod Photo technically. This one has 6 gigabytes of storage on it. I'm not sure if it's going to light up for me or not. I think it's very dead, and but I might be able to stick it in my little dock connector here and it'll turn on for me. I can see if you guys can see it a little bit. I love this little dock connector too. This thing, like one of these old school dock connectors. So you can see there, it's lighting up with the different logo there. The one that kind of transitioned into the more color stuff. But as you can see, there's you got the color, and you have the pictures on here, which is pretty cool. And yeah, not the best like quality pictures, but they are there very much. And it's the first color one here, and that's what just came with the next generation as well, which I'll get to obviously later. But let this guy charge up for a minute. Actually, it's not going to hold charge. That is the thing with some of the old iPods. Like a lot of them I did get with new batteries in them, but this one definitely did not have a good battery in it, and I'll eventually probably get it changed or try to change it myself. But I have a lot of ones that I can still use for now, and in the future I'll probably maybe get some for those, but I can always use these plugged in, obviously, at home. So yeah, that's the iPod 4 and then the iPod Photo technically. And then we're moving on to probably my favorite generation of iPod here. And I've got 3 of these. Say my favorite. That's third generation iPod. It's really just the coolest design that they ever did, in my opinion. And it's simple, so it's the old monochrome. Just listening to music is made just for music. There's like one little basic game on here, but it's just so cool. As it just has, not sure how well you can see it. The lighting's not that great, but it had the buttons above the spin wheel. And the thing on this is there's no like actual moving buttons besides the hold button on the top, which is pretty cool and different. And it has the, like with the 4th gen, it has the remote connector that was only on like a few, like those 2 years, it was 2003 and 2004, they had this remote connector, this other remote that plugged into the headphones. I think it's just so nifty that these things just existed for such a short period of time. And it's just really cool. I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't even know what this port was at first, and then it's just really neat. But turn this guy on. Another thing that's incredible is the buttons light up red. It's just so cool. And it's just got that old mono screen there. And this is my 20 gigabyte one. I call it my Tide-Pod. And I do have a lot of names for a lot of my iPods. But this is my everyday. I use this one probably more than any other iPod in my collection now. It has a really good battery that lasts me the whole day. And of listening to music pretty much the whole day. And I just keep most of the music that I'm most excited about up to date on this one. So I have stuff from today, I have stuff from before that I'm really excited about right now. So this is just like my everyday. I bring this with me almost all the time to work and listen to this one the most out of all of them. I just love this iPod. It's really, really cool. And the next one, I have another 3rd gen here. And this is just, it's a little more beat up than the other one. You probably can't really tell in the lighting, but this one is definitely really beat up. And this is a 15 gigabyte one. And you can tell these are a little bit thinner than those other ones, especially the 1st gen, but this, the 4th gen, the thicker 4th gen ones with the bigger gigabytes on it. These are a lot thinner than that. What I did for this iPod is I have music from only from 2001 to 2005. And the reason I did that was there's 15 gigabytes, the 1 and 5, and then if you go into the settings on here, it was like the Apple like rights, it was only from 2001 to 2005. So I just wanted to have like an iPod that like just music from those years. But yeah, another very similar to this one. This one's in a little bit better condition, like physical condition. But they both have new batteries, and they both work great. And then I have one more 3rd gen, because the 3rd gen is just my favorite and I love having them, and I just can't even fathom not having a 3rd generation iPod, so I have a bunch of them. This one does work. This one is in pretty good condition too. The screen is in so pretty condition. It's really hard to find any that aren't like scratched up, and it's really cool when you do find them, but I want to find some, maybe someday get some ones that are a little bit better condition, but I'm not something I'm worried about. But this is the 40 gigabyte 3rd gen. This is thicker again, like the 4th gens, but about the same thickness as the 4th gen 40 and 60 gigabyte ones. This one also does not have a good battery in it. It'll only work when it's plugged in. So it just lights up just like these. So I usually just keep this one back here in the dock, on this dock. And then yeah, these I use this one all the time. This one I haven't been using as much, but it's a good backup one to have when I do want to listen to certain things. Moving on from there, got another little batch here. Oh, you guys lighting up already. Interesting. You see that light up back there? I'm surprised it turned on. They're just saying no power now, low battery. I'm surprised it turned on. I guess I just took it out of hold, maybe. I don't know. But got another little stack of iPods here. These are the ones that really remind me of the iPod, like the iPods I really knew existed, like before. Like when I started getting into them, like, oh, these are the old school iPods. I didn't know there's like other ones that really existed. But these are, yeah, definitely getting into like what most people think of as like iPods, and these were iPods in their prime. This 20-year-old model now, came out in 2005. And that's the 5th generation, or the iPod Video. And this one's pretty cool. This is my first like kind of like old school one I bought when I started getting into this. Once again, we'll see if this guy, yeah, this guy's booting up. But these are cool. They got it even thinner, and as you can see, it's just the old school. The screen's got more like high quality. This one's just in good condition in general. But yeah, and the screen's just got bigger, and you could watch videos on it. And so yeah, that was a big thing. It's just the screens got big, and then next thing you know, they came out with the touch, and these were history. But this is 30 gigabytes, 5th generation. This is one of the most popular that people get now. They're going back to it. It's very, very easily moddable. A ton of different face plates for it, and just like you can upload the storage very easily. You can get into this very easily. It's really easy to pop the face plate off compared to other models. But it's just like kind of like the iPod to me too. It's like a old school, kind of older school iPod, but newer school at the same time. And then I have the 6th generation, just like technically the last one they ever made. This is the style that the last iPod that they ever made, like what I would consider a real iPod. When it starts getting into the touches, they're too much like phones to really. I really just consider the old stuff to be iPod. So this is kind of like the end of like the iPod, I guess, the like real deal iPod. But yeah, this is like one of the second ones I got. When I started getting into iPods, I found this one, and the battery was swollen on it, so I had to get the battery replaced in this, which kind of sucked. But this one is 80 gigabytes. This is the most storage I have out of all of them. And this is my metal pod, and this has this like the cover flow on it, which is one of my favorite things. I really love the cover flow. I think it's really cool when you can see all your album artwork on here, and I always really loved that when I was a kid, because there's another one I'll get to in a minute that's very similar to this that had cover flow on it. And cover flow is just such a nifty thing. But I call this one my metal pod. I have mostly metal and adjacent things on this iPod. This is like that's like the most music, like the most dense like music genre that, and like around that is on here. So I thought my iPod with the most storage and like the one that actually you can see the album covers very well, because I really love a lot of the album artwork on metal albums. They just have some of the best album artwork in the world. But such cool art. But I just like have tons of different people's discographies on here if I ever want to go back, and I just love digging into like metal musicians discographies, and I just love metal music, and I just love digging into them, and it's just like a very comforting one to have for me. And this one's really cool, and I've been listening to this somewhat recently. So I just like listening, like there's some metal I want to listen to, or put some new metal albums on here that I got. So this one's really cool. It's nifty little sleek design. It's cool to go from the old ones and then to the newer ones. So they're like thinner, and just like the screen is so much more like crisp, I guess you could say. And it's cool. These are really, really cool ones. And now here's my first Nano, this first iPod I ever had. I did a video on this already, but it's basically a tiny version of this one. It's the same material, same basic design, same like interface. So it's just like super thin, only 8 gigabytes on this. I actually have my name engraved on it, my dad got, and I used to have like a sticker on the back of this back in like middle school. But this thing is still really close and dear to my heart. It's a really cool little thing. Don't listen to this very often, but I always had the option to listen to them. So yeah, that's that stack. And I think I'll go ahead and go over, since we're going to go into another little category here soon, but I'll show this one real quick. This is the 1st generation Nano. I think this thing is really nifty. It's so small and just teeny tiny. It's basically the 5th generation, like teeny tiny version of the 5th generation. It's got this tiny little screen and this tiny little thing with the same kind of interface there, and it only has 2 gigabytes on it. So this is the lowest amount of storage I have on any of them, and I mostly use this like as a shuffle. And I have like stuff from like my childhood mostly on here, like the Tony Hawk video game soundtracks, some of the stuff from there, like the 2 games I really like the most, American Wasteland and Project 8. Just incredible soundtracks, but I mostly just like shuffle those on here, so it's like it just works perfectly for that, and I love that. So it's really cool. I'll get into that stack below it in a minute, so I'll put it right here. But I want to go over my iPod minis now. iPod minis are probably my second favorite out of all of them. This was the 3rd gen, and then the 2nd gen, and then the 3rd gen, and then the the Mini, and then probably the first generation are probably my favorites when it comes to the models. It's really hard to pick favorites though, they're just all so cool to me, the old school ones. But I've got two gray ones here. This is the first generation gray, 4 gigabytes, only came in 4 gigabytes. This one is a very one I use all the time as well. This is a very common one that I use almost every day. I take this and the third gen is good together with me. I listen to these the most out of all of my other iPods. The battery life is okay. It's not amazing, but it lasts for a good little while. I come home on my lunch break, so I can just like charge it. But the battery's pretty low on it right now. I should probably charge it up for the week. But this has the music I have on this, because I use it almost every day, is all stuff from just this year. 2025. I have all my 2025, the albums I've been wanting to listen to this year from 2025 that I have my favorites on this one. So that's just like to go to that. As you can see, it had the monochrome display on it. But yeah, I use this one all the time, and I'm gonna keep it going as like my 2025 kind of iPod. I think I might have a few things in 2024 that I've like been excited about from the previous year, but all very recent things on that one. This is the only second generation Mini that I have. It's the silver one. This one, unfortunately, is not working very well at all. I had it sunk up very well, and it's actually in really good condition. And this has 6 gigabytes on it. It's the second generation. They brought in the 6 gigabyte versions storage, and the battery life's a little longer. But it was working great when I first got it. I got it as like a little bundle. It came with like a little iHome thing. And it was really cool, and it was working great. It sunk up great the first time, but then it just started messing up on me. Really had some issues with some of the minis syncing up and like just really lagging out and just not being able to sync up by the computer, and just like really taking a long time. I've really been struggling with that, and I can't figure out what's going on with them, and I just I've been feeling too overwhelmed to dig into it. But this one's still really cool to have. I'm hoping I'll fix it one day, maybe put a new battery in it. I don't know what's going on with it, but there's something going on with it. But I really like the design of these iPods. I think they're really cool. It's like the little rounded edge, and these were the last iPods that ever featured the monochrome, the mono like interface. So they're pretty special, very simple and basic. They're the superior nanos in my opinion. I really like the minis. They're really cool. And I have 4 more of these because the minis were the first ones that had color, and I have all the colors. I really like the colors of the minis. I don't really like the colors that much of the nanos, so I wanted to collect the minis because I really like the minis, and I don't really care that much about nanos. But these are all first generation. I like the first generation colors better. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing on the second gen, but they seem like slightly different to me, and I really like the first gens. A lot of these have bad batteries in them, and I can't, like the first 2 I'm going to show here, the batteries do not work well, and they have to be plugged in. But I have this blue one, which is really cool, a little nifty blue one that has an old engravement on it from the previous owner. And but this is a cool little one. I like the blue. I really like the blue color. And what I did with these is that I put all blue album covers on this iPod, and that's what I did with most of these here. And goes with the pink one. It's a little bit different. I was thinking about doing all pink on here, but my wife Caitlin, her favorite color is pink, so I've made this the Katie Pod. So I have like all stuff that we've like kind of bonded over, just music that we really match up on is on this iPod here. And this was a fairly popular one. There was an engravement on the back, and it looks like somebody like scratched it out before. I don't know why they did that, like it really did anything, but just like put a sticker over it or something if you're worried about it. But this is the pink one. I think it was fairly popular at the time, one of the most popular ones, and really cool. I just love holding these in my hand. They're just they're so nice. And then we have the gold one, which is discontinued on the second gen, so these are more rare. They just like they're harder to get because people didn't like them, so they discontinued them, and yeah, so they're just more rare than the other ones. But I really like the gold. I think it's pretty cool. So I've got all gold yellowish tinged like album covers on this one. All these are 4 gigabytes. These don't say it on the back, but these are all 4 gigabytes. They're all the first generation. This one actually works pretty well. The battery's pretty good in it when I charge it up, so I haven't used it in a while. I've been like, this one kind of like, I want to keep it home too, but really, really love these things. They're just such, they're like the perfect size, and just feels so nice. And I love the mono, just how simple they are. It's really, really incredible. And then one of my favorites out of the bunch is the green one. I really like the green. It has all green album covers on it. It has a few little dents on here, but it still works really good. And I use this one quite often. It's probably the second most used, besides my other gray one, out of the minis that I use this one quite often. And I really love these colors, and it's so nice to have all these colors and have them lined up, and just, it's just so satisfying to me, man. I just love them. I love them so much. I just, even if they didn't work very well, like, I'm so excited that they all kind of work. They mostly work, and I can listen to music on them, but like, they're just so nice to look at. They're just so clean looking to me, and I really enjoy having them. And just coming into my room and like seeing them all the time, it's just like such gratification. I love them. But the last section here, I'm gonna get into, we've got a few touches here, which, like I said, this is kind of the end of the video, because the iPods I was talking about before are like the iPods, but I thought I could just go over the touches because they're still technically iPods. They were made for, not for phone calls and stuff, but that's like the only thing that makes them different from an iPhone nowadays. And they're still like the first generation, like the first few generations of iPod touches were pretty nifty and just like fairly cool for their time, and just like a timepiece, but you could play games on them and get on the internet on them and stuff, and that's just like, it just kind of takes away from the iPod thing, but it still can be very much used as an iPod, obviously. I think this is the third gen one. I want to have this one kind of charged up a little bit, just kind of show what's going on, if it'll charge up, and I'm not sure if it will, because the battery just takes a minute. But I have this one here, which is the newest iPod that I own, and this is the one that I got last year. I made a video about it at the end of the year. I bought myself around Christmas time, and that's the 6th generation iPod Touch, which is very much like an iPhone, but it's still really nifty. It's very sleek, small, and this is the Katie Pod Part 2 right now, kind of 2.0, because my wife Caitlin is using this right now, as her mom took her off her streaming thing, and of course I've got the backup. You know, I've got your back. If you get off the streaming, I've got your back with the pods. But it's just your basic interface. It's got a decent, cool music on here, just mostly stuff she's been listening to a lot, and a lot of stuff that we listen to in the car together. So a lot of cool stuff on here. I still really like this iPod. The battery life is pretty good. It lasts a decent amount of time, but it's not like perfect, but it's a sleek, cool little iPod, and I like it. Next I have the 2nd generation iPod Touch here. I do not think I can get this to turn on right now. I'm sure it's very dead. I should have charged this up before I made this video, but as you know, it's a cool, and if the third one, if the 3rd generation one I have charges up, then I will show it to you before the end of the video. But yeah, just the like really early touches, and this has like a lot of old games that I liked on it, and stuff like that. And it's just a cool little design. This is like for the iPhone, really, like right around the same time as the iPhone, and very similar design. And these are just nostalgic to me. So this is like the second like iPod I really ever had. I was really excited about back in the day. And this is not an iPod either. But we're talking about the touches. I might as well show my old iPhone as well. It's the iPhone 4S. This is the first iPhone I ever owned, and I still have it. And I do have some music on here. But once again, it's dead, so maybe I'll make another video about that some other time. But I still really like this phone. I think it would be so cool if I could get this to work nowadays. I would totally use this again. I really love the design on this one, the black glass on the back. It's just very clean and nice, and I kept this in pretty good condition, surprisingly, over the years. But I've got a lot of music from like my high school days and stuff, because that's when I had this. And it's really cool. Like, it's the interface for the music is different on this, and it's one of the coolest interfaces, I think, of the modern music ones. It has the like when you play an album, or like you click on an album, and the background matches the color of the album artwork, and I think that's so cool. I don't know why they gave up on that. But I think it was only from like iOS, like it was like somewhere like iOS 9ish that it did that, and I forgot when they stopped doing it. But that was such a cool feature, and I wish they would bring that back. That is really cool. Not that I'm using music on my phone anymore, but at least I have that to go back and look at it. The battery life, once again, not very great on this either, so I mostly use it when it's plugged in. And I haven't used it in quite a while. I should plug it in and check it out again sometime. It looks like just in time, the iPod Touch 3rd Gen is opening up for us, which is great. Hopefully I can unplug it for a second to show you guys what's inside, but the color Apple thing that they had for years, like when they first started making the color stuff, is there. And I did jailbreak this, so it is jailbroken. I can't get as many cool tweaks as like in their prime, but there's still some pretty cool stuff on here. I wish I could get the Android lock. That was one of my favorite things, but I can't get it to download on here for some reason. I can't figure it out. Maybe one day I'll be able to, but this thing is taking goddamn forever. But what do you know? It is just like, it's old technology be like that sometimes. But I really like this one's pretty cool, and I haven't been listening to this too much. Mostly kind of like my middle school music. I got this like in middle school, and got these iPods, or just remind me of middle school. But I don't know, this thing seems like it's kind of fucked up right now. It doesn't want to kind of open up, but it is jailbroken, and it has some pretty cool music on it. And I like on these that the cover flow, you could turn it to the side and it could be really big, and you could scroll through it. And I thought that was really neat. And I wish they would bring that back too, but you know, it doesn't matter anymore, as I've got all the generations here to have all the cool things that they've done. So, and yeah, that's my iPod collection. It's probably got a little long-winded, but it is what it is. I really enjoy talking about them. I love them. I'm really excited about them, and I'm gonna be excited about them in the future. I'm always gonna have them forever. And this thing did just boot up for me. It's plugged in. It says slide or die. We've got the little toy machine guy up there for the carrier, but as you can see, there's the kind of the interface, the old school interface, and I've got it like so you can change the apps, kind of cool. And music on here, like I said, here I can kind of show the way the cover flow used to go. Turn it to the side, and yeah, it's so satisfying. I love it. It's like when you had it on the older iPods, like the cover flow on the older iPod, it was like having CDs, and this is like having vinyl. It's like the big album artworks on here, and it's really cool. Just like middle school stuff and stuff from when I was younger too. I just kind of cross over here, but really satisfying. I love it. It's so cool. But I think I'm gonna let this one keep charging up. So yeah, there's still a cool little relic, old school, just nostalgic at this point. And I did put this on here too. Let's see if I can get it. When you turn the screen off, I got the little TV lock. I think it was really neat. I love little stuff like that. But yeah, so it's my iPod collection video. Let me know what you guys think down below. If anybody's like really into iPods or anything, it'd be cool if you want to get into them. Just wanted to give a little overview of the ones I have, and I just been a big nerd about them, and I just love them, and they're just really nifty devices. There's so many cool devices from the early 2000s, and I just like really love it. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this, and what you guys think about iPods, and you guys have any old iPods laying around or interested in getting some, and what music would you put on them? And just I love hearing stuff like that. So any iPod nerds out there want to nerd out with me, I'm always down. So yeah, so comment down below if you want to, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.